Okay, so I've just been talking about interpretations of the role of the Constitutional Court. There's been an argument recently suggesting that the Constitutional Court is an instrument of something called the deep state. This was in a very popular article that was published in 2016. And during my talk here, I tried to argue for a more flexible conceptualization based on my earlier argument, which I call network monarchy. So I essentially argue that power in Thailand is very diffuse, that there are different people who are performing different political actions and the agency is not very direct. If we adopt the deep state argument, then even though the article acknowledges that there's some kind of pluralism, it's rather mechanistic in saying that the Constitutional Court is a mechanism of the deep state, basically saying the Constitutional Court was the chosen method for suppressing pro-Thaksin forces in Thailand. This was all part of a sort of systematic master plan. And my argument, based on research I've been doing, which will be coming out fairly soon, is that if you really look into the details of Constitutional Court cases, you'll see that they kept prevaricating and dithering and failing to act at various junctures, especially during the Yingluck government, and really raising the question of if there was a deep state and it was dedicated to enforcing the will of one side over another with the kind of systematic approach that is suggested in the Deep State article by Eugenie Mérieux, then why was the Yingluck government able to survive so long from 2011 to 2014, and why did even the military, but certainly the Constitutional Court, seem very reluctant to shut down that government? The crisis began towards the end of October in 2013, and yet Yingluck was only finally removed from office in May. So there's a time lag which suggests that there wasn't a complete consensus and coherence about the way in which the traditional power network was responding to the situation. So that the deep state idea, to me, is too mechanistic and too monolithic to capture the complexity. So my argument is an argument for nuance, going into the field, doing detailed research, talking to people, looking at a lot of evidence, and then trying to assess what we have before us rather than jump to what seems like a very appealing conclusion that doesn't necessarily convince on a close examination.